What is the most NSFW thing you have seen at an office gathering or party? First Christmas party at a tech startup. Go to the bathroom towards the end of the night. Realize mid-piss that the sounds coming from the stall next mine are the CTO and his wife going at it. Step out of the stall and the CEO and some sales guys are doing lines. CEO sees me and shouts, "Hey. It's Jared." My name isn't Jared. He called me Jared for about 6 months after that until I pulled him aside and corrected him one day. Fun times. A co-worker once stood on a swivelly chair. This is definitely one of the more dangerous ones. I know our risk manager would have something to say about someone doing this. Didn't witness this one but heard that this happened just a few months before I was hired. We had a wine tasting for the managers with just some cheese. Minor horse d'oeuvres. etc. One particular manager got completely sloshed on wine and got super flirty with another manager from a different department who was significantly younger and good looking. At some point, this young lady put some scented lotion on her hands. Smelling this, the drunk manager came over to her and pulled his big dig out and asked her to put some lotion on there too. Right in the middle of the room and tasting. I heard he was gone instantly. He was recently found out to currently be a tour guide on a duck boat and a bad one at that. Work party. One guy took a sheet in the toilet followed by grabbing the vacuum cleaner and sucking it all up. That had to damage the poor filter. But at least the poo filter finally had a chance to shine. Used to work for a big bank. We had a little potluck for Christmas. And long story short, about 2 hours later, someone shit in the bathroom and smeared it literally. And I mean literally. All over the bathroom stalls. The wall. The stall door handle. The toilet sensor, ducking everywhere. It looked like a XXL Hershey bar stepped on an IED. We never did quite catch the elusive poop handle bandit. Legend says he's still out there, ravaging the latrines of financial institutions to this day. Went out for drinks with co-workers after service. It was a lunch-focused restaurant, and by the end of the night, one of our cashiers decided to lactate on me from across the table. I went to a customer's holiday party. It was a bit of a good old boy company. So it was at the shop and mostly drinking and grilling with funny awards. It was mandatory and had a dress code. So all these guys were as cleaned up as they could get. But in clothes that didn't fit right anymore ever and whatnot. Also a sausage fest since women are in industry and most of the guys were bachelors. The guys drank like it was water in the desert and decided to move it to local bar they frequent. Well, that bar was hosting the holiday party for a lap and was a total clam bake until we showed up. You mix drunk nerdy girls and drunk manly men and you end up with a lot of finger banging and it ain't discreet. It was a match made in heaven. Absolutely no fallout. The female bartender was egging them on and the boss men had gone to a different bar. They often ran into those girls at lunch there. But there were no repeat performances. Worked in a warehouse for a while. We had regular awards nights where we'd all get ducked up and hand out stupid awards like Driver of the Year for the person who had the worst forklift accident. Or who crashed a work car. Other things of note. 1. Doing lines with the boss off his desk every party. 2. Married co-workers banging in the car park. 3. The mentally handicapped and very drunk cleaner getting wrapped in packing tape by 3 guys. 4. Having forklift races in the aisles of the warehouse. Forklifts being driven by guys who are plastered. 5. Using forklifts to lift each other to the roof of the warehouse. I don't miss my old job but damn I miss the parties. Co-worker threw his desk chair out of a 4-story window after having a few too many. Damn. That's a big window. Last year's work Christmas party. One woman, known for over-drinking, overdrank. She came to sit at the table I was at and proceeded to sit down. Where their WSS no chair. Straight on her ass. Later that night she was grinding on one of the boss's girlfriends and apparently tried to talk the boss and his girl into a 3-way. She is still confused why she didn't get the promotion she was going for at the time. That would have granted her a company credit card and had her taking clients out to dinners. I was the one who started giving him head in the middle of the party. It's okay though. We're still together to this day. A group of girls pre-gamed the Christmas party pretty hard. They show up wearing prom dresses and 20 minutes later, the most mashed of the girls is out back with her prom dress hiked up above her waist, panties at her knees, bent over taking it from some dude. This set the tone for the rest of the night. Marriages were unintentionally put on hold so drunken co-workers could gain carnal knowledge of each other. Many walks of shame the following day. I worked at Macca's and we had a work party. Some of the crew volunteered to run the night shift while the rest of us went 10-pin bowling and drank scrumpies. I was a manager so I got to see the camera footage the next day. It was of me walking around the restaurant and kitchen with my pants down, shaping my gonads to look like a brain and making people look at my taut scrot. There were also brown eyes and squash strats, which is where you press your big dick and gonads up against the glass. That was me in the drive-through window. I woke up horrified and knew I was in trouble. There was a small fallout. I miraculously didn't get fired. No one formally complained. My punishment was to wash car windows as they went through drive-through on my day off and donate the tips to the Ronald McDonald House charity. Saw a drunk dude getting a handy under the table from another drunk dude. Both of them were supposedly straight when not drunk. There was a co-worker who arrived in a giant baby diaper with nothing else on except sneakers. And someone smeared chocolate frosting on his diaper at some point. Not super wild, but this was a dry party. My husband's old company decided that they weren't going to invite spouses to the Christmas party. Okay. I dropped him off so he could drink freely. No big deal. After he called me to pick him up I ended up waiting in my car for nearly half an hour, watching some of his male co-workers through the window getting lap dances from some female co-workers. A bunch of people from the office decided to get together and head to a foam party. One of the girls got white girl wasted and stripped down to nothing but her panties and danced on one of the tables. Made for an interesting night. At our Christmas party recently I put a co-worker on my shoulders and carried him along so he could attach some tinsel to the beams and the roof. That was pretty unsafe. Someone did offer a ladder halfway through but we were already on a roll. An exec looked at a picture of my wife and did a little nod and wink while we drank gin and tonics. The absolute madman. All 30 of us ended up on top of a mountain at sunrise, naked and drunk. We then went for breakfast and back to work. Edit. Christ, this blew up. First year at the company. Married CEO all over an employee pretty much in front of the whole company. Awkward AF. Both really drunk. The fact that they didn't start making out in front of everyone was a Christmas miracle. My ex-girlfriend's parents own a restaurant and every year they throw a huge Christmas party. The party is always great and is open bar with a great band playing. One year when I was walking into the kitchen to restock the beer I opened the door to see a dishwasher and a waitress having sex on the dishwasher counter. I quietly walked out and got a group of people together to walk in and embarrass them and it was the highlight of the party. When I used to work for a large corporate law firm, a guy and a girl who both worked in the accounts team got in an argument. One thing led to another and the girl threw her glass of red wine over his white shirt. Without missing a beat he just grabbed her by the throat and started choking her. This was just off the side of the dance floor, in front of 300 plus staff. Went as a date to a lawyer girl's work party. Open bar. Phenomenal food. Everything was amazing except the smell periodically through the night. Turns out one of the younger interns found out he never got the job opening. So he sheet himself and drank all night, acting as if nothing ever happened. Our payroll manager got blackout drunk at a Christmas party a few years ago and started insulting people and telling them that they weren't worth how much they were getting paid, while quoting the actual salaries. She was fired the next day, but didn't even remember what she'd done. Summer Clark event. Clark has brought his GF, who was very attractive. Marizo that you would have thought this Clark capable. And everyone is having a good time. Dinner ends and people are deciding where to go out drinking. When server shows up with a tray full of tequila shots. Partner's wife has ordered about 15-20 shots for the maybe 10 people still standing there. Anyway, we start to get to work on the shots and now partner's wife, who we are realizing is really drunk, wants to do body shots. Long story short, a minute later, partner's wife is sucking salt to the nape of clerk's GF's neck while everyone, but mostly the clerk, is nervously laughing. We all head to the bar. Except partner and wife apparently go home rather than join us. Clark and GF don't last much longer as the wheels come flying off a wagon at the bar about 15 minutes later. Good times. Good times. For your information, Clark is now a 4th year associate and I don't believe I've seen the partner's wife at a firm function in quite some time. Just recently went to my girlfriend's vet office Christmas party at the owner's very nice house. The party is known for everyone jetty extremely wasted. I'm driving so I stayed relatively sober. My GF on the other hand did not. She was already quite tipsy off of all kinds of mixed drinks. I head to the bathroom down the hall for 5 minutes. Come back to realize she had taken 3 shots, 2 is her total drinking limit. Fast forward up cut 10 minutes and she's absolutely sloshed. She requests to go to the bathroom and starts asking everyone the quickest way to get there like we're about to go on a road trip or something. I escort her carefully and let her do the booziness. While waiting I got caught up talking to a bunch of co-workers and kinda forgot she was in the bathroom. About 15 minutes later she comes rushing out saying we have to leave because she does not feel good. I inform everyone we are going to head out when I hear someone yell, "Oh duck," from the bathroom hall. Turns out in that 15 minutes, my girlfriend managed to completely break the toilet in half, causing the plumbing pipe from the wall to explode as well, which started flooding the room. As an added bonus she decided to start throwing up at the front door as well. Let's just say I sobered up real quick. Anyways, the folks were super supportive of it even though they had to replace the flooring, plumbing, and the toilet. Didn't even make her pay anything. The owner also posted pictures on Facebook of his broken toilet and said it was the best party they've had in a while. Was interning at a Fortune 500 insurance company in college, where all the spouses and kids show up. He kept it together until he saw the wine bottles. Opened one up. Started drinking directly from the bottle. Gets blasted. The 2 highest in command people see where this is going. They stay later than intended to make sure he's okay. Order him an expensive Uber ride back to his place. They paid for it. Dude loses it. Yells at the Uber driver to tell him to take him back. No one knows how he got home. 3 days later, Monday, super awkward hellos and he was kindly given the chance to resign instead of being fired. TLDR, don't do stupid shit when you're an intern.